Welcome to the February Professional Railroader Focus, Securing Equipment. You operate moving equipment every day on the railroad. Moving equipment is heavy and can present potential hazards to the unaware. There are rules in place for the safe operation of moving equipment, and these rules help to keep us all safe. But there are also rules that apply to handling trains not in motion. These operating rules concern safe and proper securement of standing equipment, and they are the focus of today's video. A locomotive can weigh over 400,000 pounds. Add to that a few loaded freight cars over 60 tons each, and you've got a considerable amount of weight and potential force. Properly securing equipment of this size when not in use is necessary for the safety of employees, equipment, and the public. Not following these simple rules can have catastrophic consequences. Let's first look at Operating Rule 103D and 103E. Cars left standing on a track must be clear of other tracks where practicable. A minimum of 10%, but not less than one handbrake, must be applied to hold the cars. If there are 20 cars in a cut, then at the very least, 2 cars must be properly secured. If there are 30 cars, the minimum allowed is 3. 40 cars, then 4 must be tied down, and so on. Remember, these are the minimum requirements. Special instructions may dictate the application of additional handbrakes. Air brakes must not be depended upon to hold cars of a train when the engine is detached. A car set out without an operative handbrake must be accompanied by at least one car with an operative handbrake. Notify the train dispatcher when this is necessary. When cars are to be left standing on a grade, handbrakes should be applied on the low end of the cut of cars. Slack must be bunched in such cars. When cars standing on a grade are to be picked up, the handbrakes must not be released until the engine has been coupled. For standing engines left unattended, Rule 103E states that handbrakes must be applied and tested on all locomotives. The only exception to this rule involves engine consists left unattended within a locomotive servicing track facility, which must have a minimum of one handbrake applied and tested. Bear in mind, handbrake rules for standing cars and handbrake rules for standing locomotives are completely independent of each other. Each rule must be applied appropriately to each type of equipment, even when the cars and engines are coupled together in a train. Air brake and train handling rule number 5356 states that engineers securing a locomotive consist must apply the number of handbrakes required by operating rule and must make certain that the consist will not move. When applying a handbrake, operate the mechanism until all slack is removed from the chain, and the brake shoes to which the handbrake is connected must be tight against the wheels. An electric parking brake is considered the same as a handbrake. And remember, after applying a locomotive handbrake, you must verify the effectiveness of the brake to make certain that the locomotive consist will not move. Finally, let's review item 8-2 in the 2008 First Quarter System Bulletin reissue. Item 8.2 states that trains or locomotives, when held on main track, siding, or any auxiliary track outside of terminal limits, must be properly secured with handbrakes and effective derail protection must be present. If derail protection is not present, the train or locomotives must be attended by a crew or a transportation department manager. Operating Rule 103, Air Brake and Train Handling Rule 5356, and Item 8-2 of the System Bulletin reissue. These rules are in place to prevent movement of unattended equipment along our tracks. When these rules aren't followed, the results can be disastrous. As the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Well, on the railroad, a few minutes of prevention is worth a lifetime, period. Thanks for your attention today, and thanks for your continued efforts to work safely.